Hey guys, it's Hannah here. It is officially March, so it is time to talk about what I wore in February. Obviously, I did some major hauling. Some of it you haven't seen yet. So some of this is spoilers for hauls you haven't seen yet. It is coming soon. I tried to get it up, but I just didn't end up having time to finish filming the last little bit of it. So that'll be coming up soon, but you can hear about some of it in here. Yeah, obviously I bought a lot of stuff, so there is a lot of new product in here. So let's just, I don't even know where to start. Yeah, it's everywhere. If you're interested in seeing what I wore in February, just stay tuned. Alright, so for base products, if you don't know, I project pan, so my primer, foundation and concealer are currently being the products I'm panning, which is my First Aid Beauty Pores Be Gone Matte Primer, my Too Faced Peach Perfect Foundation, sorry, something got stuck in my throat there, and the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Concealer. And for under eye, I use the Dior Powder No Powder to set. For corrector this month, I used my Bobbi Brown corrector in Light Bisque. Love this, great. I alternate between two correctors. And it was just Light Bisque's turn this month. And then to set my whole face, because I don't like using the Dior all over, I use the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. This is an oldie but a goodie. It's a great powder, it looks great on the skin. Really love that. Brows at the moment, I think I mentioned this in what I wore in January. I'm really focusing on using up the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil and the 24-hour brow setter. So this is all I've used on my brows. I haven't used my tinted eyebrow gel once this month. Super proud of myself. Let's see, I still have a million years of this brow pencil though, because it just lasts forever. So my goal is to use these both up this year, even though I'm not technically panning. It's not in my project pan, but I do want to finish them up this year because they're both so old, because I prefer a tinted brow gel. Sticking with eyes though, I had 3 cream shadow sticks in my makeup basket. All new ones. One of them you saw hauled. It is Radiance by Sigma. It is a champagne-y, kind of light champagne color. This was my favorite of the cream eyeshadows that I used this month. I think it just set really well and held on really well. And then 2 that you will see in the upcoming haul, Hard Candy Bubbly and Milani Blossom. So Hard Candy Bubbly is a quite light champagne tone, quite icy. And then Blossom from Milani is quite a pinky toned color. As I said, I used all of these. My favorite is probably Radiance, but that's because, I don't know, even though it's the least shiny, I found it just blended smoother than the other 2 did. I don't know. They were all really nice though. So, different tones there. And then by the end of the month, I was getting really lazy with my makeup. So that means I pulled out my Charlotte Tilbury Oyster Pearl. This is my go-to lazy day makeup. I love this product. It is a taupey moussey cream shadow, and it just blends, and it's a great one and done shade. But what I did this month was I topped it with the Urban Decay Moondust palette in Space Rider. There we go, there you can see it. I topped it with all of these 3 shades. So we have Star Cowgirl, which I use to highlight my inner corner, just super bright. Space Cowboy, which I've used on its own and topped over Oyster Pearl. Then we have Wild Dipper Brides again, which again, I used all of the darker shades individually and over the Charlotte Tilbury. Cosmic Space Dust looks very similar, so it just deepened it up. That one is Wild Dipper Brides again, so it made it more pink. And then up the top we have Space Cowboy, which just kind of brightens it up a little bit with the silver sparkle. And then those are the swatches down there. Love this formula. Super pretty sparkly formula. You guys know I love a sparkly eyeshadow. And these were just some great topper shades just on their own and topped over other things. Sticking with eyeshadows, the other thing that you have not heard about yet, which is probably my most, maybe my most used thing this month, was the Natasha Denona Mini My Dream palette. I love this. This is absolutely stunning. So stunning. I used it a lot. Whether it's mattes to mix with the Moondust palette, or just as a full look. I love it. I love Natasha Denona eyeshadows. That palette is probably my favorite mini. Speaking of Natasha Denona, I did throw in my Xenon palette, which I got in my Beautylish Lucky Bag. I used it 3 times. Once just on its own and then once mixed with the mini nude. I just found that when I mixed the, what's the shade? Balance. Yeah, Balance. In with this, it just neutralized it a little bit more than super grey toned, which was great. I wore Skift, Snowbow, Fluffy, Neve, and Rhyme. Again, this palette is not something I'll reach for all the time, but it's very unique to my collection, so I'm glad to have it. What I'm wearing on my eyes today and what I will be keeping in my makeup basket is the Adept Heather Austin palette. It's got foundation finger marks over it already. Basically, I wore this, I think, once or twice in February, not enough. So I am going to keep it in for March just because I wasn't home on weekends to play with colour and I can't wear heaps of colour to school, but there's that. What I did wear most was either Sigma Beauty and the Beast or Full Fantasy from Luna Beauty Laura Lee Los Angeles. These were my 2 big palettes that I used the most. From the Beauty and the Beast palette, I really did kind of stick to this kind of quadrant here, which, well, like this, like half, these 6 and then Belle. I did use Enchantress once, but I didn't really play with the pinks at all. Again, I just didn't have time to play with colour this month. But Be Our Guest and Little Town and Belle were great lid shades. Cogsworth and Bookworm were always in my crease. And Winter Night was always highlighting. It was great. Really liked it. Full Fantasy was also really lovely. I did a greeny look with Mora, but mostly reaching into Besties, Wear Back, and Not My Vibe. So this one, and this one for crease colours. And then kind of these 2 and this one for lid shades. Yeah, super pretty palette. Super pretty palette. Just not as wham bam sparkles as the Glamour Chicks Nearly Natural that I thought it would be similar to. Eyeliner, I pulled in the Natasha Denona Macro Eye Tech in brown. This was really nice. It didn't transfer and it was quite dark, which is quite nice. I didn't use it heaps. I just didn't use eyeliner all that much, but it was really nice. And then I'm still using my Rare Beauty mascara, which is my favorite. Cheeks, MAC Light Rosy Skin Finish Sunstruck Bronzer. It definitely has a rosy tone to it. It does pull pinky on the skin, which is something different to my collection, which is why I wanted to try it. I did like it. Definitely looks like nothing in a swatch, but it was really pretty on the skin. And then for blushes, I used blush palettes all month. The new one to me is the Natasha Denona My Mini Dream Blush Duo little blush. It just says blush. I used it as a blush and a highlighter, and I loved it. I've heard mixed reviews saying that people, because of the size, they feel like they can't get a lot of pigment. I used my Sigma Christian Dominique All Over Face Precision Blush, and I felt like it got in perfectly for the blush and got great color payoff. Beautiful, beautiful blush. Really enjoyed it. Then we have the two Sigma cheek duos, Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella. Alice in Wonderland is that kind of cooler tone, and Cinderella is the little bit warmer tone, and that just kind of depended on, not a little bit, it's quite a bit warmer, and this is very cool. But they're both beautiful. I did have to use a light hand with the blushes in these. Otherwise they were kind of clown cheek, but you could work with them. Just go in knowing that you need to be careful. And then something you need to be very careful with is Vivid Azalea from Wayne Goss. I loved how this looked on the skin, but you have to be very careful. You have to be super careful if you have fair skin. If you have deep skin, I feel like the highlight would be too light. But the two brushes I used were one from Wayne Goss, the number 14, which is super dusty, fluffy. And then from Flower Beauty, it doesn't have the number on it. It's like, again, a very similar, really soft, airy product. I could have used, they're both just a little bit more fluffier than the Christian Dominique. I find this to be a little bit denser, but still quite small. So those were cheek products. Let's go on to lips, because there was a whole lot of lip products if you saw those holes. And most of these lip products were not in those holes. That you haven't, is in the haul that you haven't seen yet. The stuff that was in the haul that you have seen. Natasha Denona I Need a Nude in Natasha lip liner. Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner, which looks so pink in comparison. And Huda Beauty Warm Brown lip contour. I used all of these. They're great. I like them all. Natasha Denona I Need a Nude, My Dream, not I Need a Nude. Natasha Denona My Dream in Natasha. I love this lipstick. This is gorgeous. This My Dream duo is fantastic. It's my dream lip color. Luna Beauty Icon I found worked best when I outlined with the Huda Beauty, because it is that light nude, and I really liked the contrast of the Huda Beauty with this lip product. It was very nice. The YSL Candy Glaze in 15 I wore mostly with Pillow Talk. Here, gorgeous. And then the ones you haven't seen yet, MAC Locked 24-hour lipstick in Mischief, which I wore with Natasha Denona. Nice long wear lip color there, super pretty. Thanks, it's MAC in the Luster Glass, again wearing with either Pillow Talk or Natasha. Gorgeous. That's this one. No, it is this one. Shiny lip product, not as shiny as the YSL, but still a little bit more color. And then Juvia's Place True Nude, which you did see in the Shop With Me vlog, I wore with either Natasha or Warm Nude. So a lot. So 3 shinies, 3 matte satins. Good variety. I liked all of them. The Luna Beauty I think would have been better in a darker shade, but I can make it work. Alright, and then setting spray, I did use my MAC Fix Plus Stay Over until I finished up, and then I rotated in a Tatcha Satin Skin Mist for my project pan. And that is what I wore in February. Lots of new products, super exciting time with new products coming out, not coming out, but a whole lot of new products to my collection. I have a whole lot still to play with this month, which is really exciting. Lots of lip glosses this month, which will be nice. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do click subscribe to stay tuned for that haul, to see swatches of the things that I didn't swatch. Do let me know what you've been playing with lately, what you think of it, and if you want more in-depth reviews on any of these products. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.